All right. To answer the questions I get on here about the strength, I think the strength is good enough or strong enough. Is questionable if it's how long it's gonna last. I think that's my biggest concern. How long the collar's gonna last with the dog. I guess it depends on how rough the puppy plays together and all that good stuff. But um, the big thing is training. Get them on the collar. Um, Walk them up to the wire a couple times, and then put them away because it I think it's not so much of learning; it's more fear. They get that correction and they're scared to approach the property line or the wire. So after the first couple hours, I'll put the dogs back away and let them adjust back in a day or two, and then let them loose again. And then after the second day, third day, they're fine. Cause on the first day, um, the dog gets shocks or correction static, and he'll just sit there and takes the static. And then I've seen him where I walk crossing the wire, and the puppies will try to follow me, and he will take the correction and walk right through the wire, taking it. So I was like, okay, it's not working. At least that's what I was thinking on day one. So I was pretty upset with it because it's expensive. Put the dogs away. Second day, tried doing the whole training again. The dog knows they will not approach the property line on day two, but day two they did not. They will not wander away from the doghouse too far because I guess they're still trying to figure where the property line is. And at day three, they're willing to run up and down the property. Well, I got it up on a 1 acre, but they'll stay in the center of the 1 acre. And then it's been almost a month now, so they are running around the house more now, but still staying away from the property line, which is good. But we'll see as the month goes on to see how long they will stay on the property or if they'll break through the wire. The good thing about this is the setting 0 to 10 distance from the wire. That's a good thing. I'll say for property wise, I don't think it's good for half an acre or a third of an acre. Just half an acre should be okay, but it's a 1/4 of an acre is probably too small, given the wire, like the correction. You got the setting 0 to 10. If a trained dog, you probably get by with 1 or 2 foot from the wire. But I think a fresh dog on it, with just being 1 foot from the wire correction, that's literally 6 inches, 6 inches on each side. The dog can easily just step over it and then passes it and not get the correction anymore. So I started my dog with a 7. So that's about 3 foot on each side, which is actually more than that, honestly. But I think that kind of gives it a buffer room where they're not going to get too close to the wire or cross the wire, given they got 3, 4, 5 foot from the wire when they get that correction. So I was going to keep it on that setting until they're mentally conditioned for it. But yeah, as far as the strength go, I think it's enough. It's definitely stronger than the remote training collar and stuff, because the collar just give a quick correction static shot, and then versus the fence, it's a continuous static correction up to so many seconds or a minute or something like that. So yeah, I think it's enough for a dog, but I think training it's gonna be important. So for me, I have to shave my dog's fur on their around their neck a little bit just to give it some contact. But yeah, so I say just don't turn your dog loose unattended for a first week, just because chasing down a cat may give them enough adrenaline. But after they're getting conditioned that, oh, approaching that line, they will get the correction. They'll learn pretty quick. Another tip I had was keep it on high, especially on the first day. That way, when they approach the property line, it gives them a strong correction, and they know never to test the property line. Versus a lot of the tips I've seen when I was researching, they say put it on the lowest setting, slowly work your way up, whatnot, until you get to strength or setting where it's good for your dog or whatever. I think that's just teaching your dog that they're gonna get away with it, and it kind of builds up their tolerance, build them up to it, and they may keep testing the fence thinking there's a weak spot, and eventually they'll find somewhere weak. So I think the first training attempt or correction they get from the wires should be at full strength, just to let them know that you do not test the fence. I think that's, in my opinion, I think that's a valid point.